court, right? I just got out of court. There was so much that went on. It was such a heavy day. Capricorn Clark broke down on the stand, but before she did, she broke down Diddy's RICO organization. You guys, also, we got to talk. Cassie just went into labor. I hope the baby's not premature and it's not because of all the stress. This is what Diddy's team was hoping to do, to actually go into hopefully that they could keep calling her back, she go into labor, and then all of a sudden they can literally strike some of her testimony because they can't ask follow-up questions. Blessings and prayers that Cassie's baby is healthy. If you guys haven't heard, Cassie has gone into labor. It is unknown on whether it is a premature labor. As soon as I find information, I will talk about that, but we got to talk about Capricorn Clark. When I tell you so much stuff happened, okay? So much stuff happened. The defense had a cross-examination. They were trying to poke holes in Capricorn Clark's testimony. They said, did you say Laura London or Laura Ann Gibson? She was like, I said Lauren. I think they heard Lorianne. They said, well, you said this, you said that. What about the thing? They were pressuring her, pushing her. Tell us the name of the security person. You mean the security person for 20 years ago? I don't know the security guy. I think his name is He's Fired. Anyway, you guys, let's get into this because this was so much. And when I tell you it was so heavy, we have to walk through this, okay? Now, where were we? Okay, so let's get into it from the start because I want you guys to go through all these details. Michelle Brannigan, thank you so much for the super chat. I want you guys to go through all these details with me because when I say I feel gross, and I feel gross for Mark Agnifilo, and I feel gross for Diddy's team. Why? Because this was high-level gaslighting. This was high-level misogyny. This was high-level victim blaming, and it was high-level trying to ignore all the bad stuff Diddy did. The fact that they basically told you that Diddy was the devil incarnate, violent, all this stuff, threatened Capricorn Clark, and all you arguing about is whether she remembers the name of a guard. You're arguing about whether she said she called Lauren London three-way or whether or not, while you're being held at gunpoint, while you're scared somebody's about to be... Yeah, okay. Diddy is... Ugh. Anyway, so where do we let stuff off? Let's take it from the top. There's so much that happened, but let me take it to the top, okay? Or should we just jump right back in, right? Wanda said, thank you for always bringing us these late updates. Okay, so listen. Basically, she said that Diddy used to have free calls with Kim Porter. They would hotel rooms 3 or 4 days at a time. He would get a 3-point camera system and another small camera. There would always have to be 50 candles, baby oil, lube. There always had to be E. They took that same, like what is it, the black Louis V bag. She would have to pack up, sweep the room. This was in early days. Around 2007, he was doing the same thing with Kim and Cassie. Here's what I want to know. How did Diddy find time to work? How did Diddy find time to work? Because... how are you having 3 or 4 day free calls? Now, Jonathan Adi, right? Jonathan Adi, it's whatever. You guys, also, just to let you know, I do want to start off with the top of the hour with this. Cassie was rushed to the hospital. Rochelle said, aloha, thank you for covering this. Cassie was rushed to the hospital while we were in court. Cassie was rushed to the hospital. We are waiting to hear what the updates were. We hope that she was not in premature labor, but it was what it was. Stephanie 7, thank you so much for the super chat. Honeybee Therapy, thank you for the super chat. Tess Schumann, thank you for the super chat. Again, this mess with Capricorn Clark was so sad, okay? Okay, so where do we start? I told you guys about the fact that Diddy would make fun to everybody. Now, Diddy's ex-assistant, I'm putting together this for you, testified a couple of days ago that Diddy was bragging like, yeah, I got this young John. She be doing anything I want, right? He wasn't just bragging to that. He literally delighted in the control he had over Cassie. While Lauren London, Chef Jordan, and Capricorn Clark were in the kitchen, Cassie wasn't allowed to be with the other women. Diddy called her in and was like, yo, Cassie, come in. She came in like a robot, didn't say anything. He's like, I'm gonna show y'all bees why y'all don't have a man like me, right? He said, come here. She came over. Come here. Sit down. Turn around. Go pick up that remote. Now bring it back. Now turn around. Now do this. He basically told her to get on one leg and bark like a dog. This is why other women are in the room. Cassie didn't say anything. She silently did every command he barked at her, and he was delighting, like, jump on one foot, do this, do that. She did all of that while other women were in the room, and then quietly left. And Diddy was like, that's why you bees don't have any men. And Capricorn Clark was like, you MFing right. Right, Table Talk with Mimi exclusive said, Tisa, you're the best. I looked up. Oh, thank you so much, you guys. Make sure you guys follow Table Talk by Mimi. So anyway, let me get back into this because you guys, this was so sick and sobering, right? She did notice that around that time, Cassie increased drug use. Now they were trying to on cross-examine be like, so you mean Cassie took Diddy more into drug land? No, man. Cassie was the one taking 2, 3, 4, however many that Diddy had to make her take. Cassie was the one that being drowned in urine. Cassie was the one that had to do everything. I don't understand. What did Diddy need more rugs for? What did Diddy need? Because from what I look at it, they're trying to look like Cassie corrupted Diddy. I'm just confused. What did you need the rugs for? Was it very upsetting for you to make Cassie be the town bicycle? Was it very upsetting to you and your homeboys that you were taping it and allegedly passing those tapes around? Because at the end of the day, I see why Cassie got more into rugs. But with Diddy, it seemed like he was having the best time of his life. So again, I'm wondering, how is this narrative going to spread, Mark Agnifilio? Because Diddy looked like he was having the time of his life. You were the devil. You were the person doing this. So explain to me why you needed more rugs. They still haven't broke that down at all. Do you know what I'm saying? T. Bomer said, why was Diddy at the orphanage place? T. Bomer, we're going to get into that. Sonia B said, love you, Tisa, from the UK. The Sugar Case said, great reporting. Much love from the Sugar Case. Y'all make sure you follow the Sugar Case. And Katie J. Chris said, hardest working woman, love you. Thank you. And Virginia Sells, thank you so much for the super chat. Now, let me tell y'all something, because we can skip to the orphanage part and then we'll come back, okay? For those of y'all that don't follow my breadcrumbs, I'm leaving breadcrumbs, okay? Tara Grant said 4K view and get the lights up. It's free. Who's going to testify next? Tomorrow, there is going to be a fire investigator specialist and a bunch of people from the government and a few more other people that's going to testify to the technical stuff. On top of that, the government wants to submit a report that links up with the timeline. All the text they got linked up with the timeline. Now, let me just say this, right? In the cross-examination, now we've just heard that Diddy was running through people with guns. We just saw him beat Cassie to a pulp again, kick her down the driveway into the street, stomping her out the whole time. Capricorn Clark being blacklisted, scared for her life. Diddy actually settled with Capricorn Clark, but he didn't want anybody to know what that settlement amount was. Something tells me it was a lot. Capricorn Clark effectively showed that she was blacklisted. Chris Lighty, 50 Cent's manager, actually hired her, because don't forget, 50 Cent and Diddy have beef. So you could go to the other camp, but Chris Lighty died the day before she was about to start. And after that, she was pretty much blacklisted for until Kingdom Come. In between that, instead of addressing any of that mess, what did he do? He said, did you not know that Diddy was on a trip to Russia? And I said, Russia? Are you on the Trump plan? I said, well, did you not know he was on the trip to Russia to go to an orphanage in Kazakhstan? I said, it sounds like money laundering to me. When's the first or last time y'all remember Diddy going to an orphanage in Kazakhstan? Baby, check his suitcases for unmarked euros. That's all I wanted to say. I said, you're trying to make Diddy look lovable, but instead you sound like a villain. Anyway, Trini Queen said, hey, Tisa girl, you're doing a fabulous job reporting. Thank you so much, Trini Queen. Jerome Street said, nice, thank you so much. Also, Thrift Goddess said, Diddy's going to jail, then headed to hell. Baby, he might go to hell first. He might go to hell first, or as I like to call it, he's going to go back home. Anyway, you guys, this is breaking news if you haven't heard it. We're going to have to take a sidebar. Cassie is in the hospital in the labor unit. They said Cassie is trading the courtroom for the hospital, and it sounds like she may be about to go into labor. Our sources tell us Cassie was rushed to a New York hospital Tuesday, and she's in the labor and delivery unit. Now, it's unknown whether the baby is premature. It is unknown what's happening. We do know that a lot of people said that Diddy's plan was to keep her in court week after week after week so she could go into labor. And if she could go into labor and there wasn't a chance that they could cross-examine her, that would either hold off the trial, have a mistrial, or they could get her testimony struck out. This is what Diddy's team wanted, and she is going into labor. They said Cassie recently testified in the Diddy criminal trial in Manhattan earlier this month, showing up to the court 4 days straight for intense testimony about their relationship. First of all, it wasn't earlier this month, it was a week ago. She had a big baby bump when she took the witness stand, and she was spotted rubbing her belly when she left the courtroom and walked past the jury box. Cassie was about 8 months pregnant when she testified. This is her 3rd pregnancy. A lot of people don't realize pregnancy is 10 months. I know what they say is 40 weeks. It's not 40 weeks. It's actually 10 months of gestation. If Cassie was in only 8 months pregnant, that means the baby might be premature. Now,